All right. So we had a big day here, sort of a decent sell off on all the markets. Um, SPY had a couple days here where it created this range, where it followed this, made this range here these 3 days. Um, and then you add in this fourth day here, and you had a 4 day range here. And we had enough volume for it to break down through, broke through this 465 area and had another really big couple legs down. And I didn't, I tried it long here for the bounce, didn't work out, but I got some other stuff short here. Uh, so let's see, I traded Fubo in the pre-market. So what Fubo was, this looks so pretty here on the daily. It's kind of funny. Let me actually take off my trades on the daily because I don't want that to show. Okay, so Fubo, so there's multiple things to this Fubo trade. Um, Basically started watching it around here. It was consolidating. You can see how it had a big sell-off and then started coming back up, made a higher low, was sort of holding that low, then made a lower low, but then made a higher low here, sort of like it was a fake breakdown from this range. Fake breakdown, gets back up, consolidates here, looks like it was headed towards up here. You combine that with earnings set for November 9th, which was uh, last night after the close. So here I knew that earnings was a few days away, and what happened was it set up for a really nice daily breakout. So this is pretty much my textbook breakout here. We have 8 or 9 days all in this range, and then $30 psychological level here. RVOL's high on this day. We got a break up. It breaks all the tops of all these levels. 31 ends up being the last level. To me, that really confirms it. So I got long for a swing here. So I entered right there. Could have entered in here for the potential for the break, but I like the extra confirmation. And let me just get this out here. There's so many lines here. So I swung here, 31. First target was this 30, 33 and a half, which I partialed. And then my big partial was 35 here. And then felt like it was consolidating here, and it didn't break past that 35. So I got out of my remaining position. So I got a really nice swing here for $4 move. And then, realized that, earnings was coming up. This resistance wasn't broken. So I got all out. And then sure enough, earnings comes out. Subscriber growth was really good, but I think they lost a bit more money than was expected. This is still a growth company. And so stock gap down quite a bit. So now it was also in play again for me because I had this really good range from the initial breakout. So I knew that this $30 was where this breakout started. And then I also knew that this 28 was the bottom of this range for the most part. 31 was a level. That was this final breakout right here. But 30 was where it started. This is when all the buyers showed up. So this is where all these buyers are going to be holding the bag here and selling once we get under 30. So I'm more biased under 30. And so I needed to see what kind of setup it gave me in the morning. And if you look here, this is what it looked like in the morning. This was after the close yesterday. A lot of action. It calmed down. Here's the $30 mark. I'm going to get rid of these other levels so you can really just see the 30. So here's the $30, just the top of the range. It bounces. bounces it again, and then about 45 minutes before the open, breaks down through. We're starting to get some volume here. Then it consolidates. So I tell myself, okay, I'm short from 30. The move is already happening. I'm sure the stock might open up and rip all the way up to 30 and give another opportunity, but as of right now, it's already happened. So I'm going to play this price action. Got in a little bit late, about 50 cents late, but shorted here, held on to it, and it actually worked out really well because it never looked back. It sold off from there and pretty much sold off the whole day. So you see here's the $30, and then here's the $30. So you can't see it because it was in the pre-market. And then 28 was my target, but it ripped through 28, and then it pulled back. And really, I should have added here. Perfect setup. You got VWAP. You got the good level. It's just a perfect entry. Plus, I was even able to partial further down. I just really wasn't sure how much further it was going to go. But actually what I did do was I did tell myself if this fails, it could get all the way down to this area. And man, that's exactly what it did. I mean, the market today sure helped though. Definitely could have added there though, especially if it broke all the way down through it and then another $1. I could have gotten out really heavy and made this another trade. So yeah, I'm holding one share just for a swing, just to see what it does because I'm so far in the money. And it closed right at the low of the day. Yeah, just a few cents above it. So it closed right around here. No, it closed right around here. My other good trade was on Twitter. So here we had some bad earnings a week ago, sold down. Then it consolidates for a while. And then I wasn't interested in this, but then I saw how the market was selling off. And so I told myself, well, this is the last daily level right here, this 52.80. If it breaks down through 52.80, it's breaking all of these days, and we might get a flush through it. And stock started selling off, hits this 42.80, clearly has some trouble, consolidates, bounces up a little bit. I tried to enter in here with the stop just up here, it just stopped me out. And then instead I put in a limit order to buy or to short it as it flushed down through, and that's what happened. Flushes down through, does a little pullback, added in, stop was up here, so I was in 2 units of risk, and I held this puppy for a while. These were small. This was 10% and 10%. No, this was 10%, 25%, and this was 50%. And these are my remaining partials right there. Let's see how far. I feel like this could go all the way down to 50 though. If you look at the daily here, it just feels like it could. Feels like it wants to come all the way down to here, and maybe we could round it up to $50. But it didn't close at the low of the day, so it did get a bit of a pullback. But still, I think it's a pretty good trade. I mean, DKNG kind of did this where, see here, we had a daily range set up, and I took it on the breakdown on this day, which worked really well. However, it only gave like a half a day more of a move, and then it pulled back into the range. So that was a little tricky. So this Twitter feels a little bit like that. So I'm not sure if there's going to be continuation or not. And then Tesla, I did trade Tesla, but yeah, that had some moves. I did try IWM. This would have been much better as a short, obviously, in hindsight, but looking at it here, we have, so we have a range here. You can see all this VPA. Okay, so we have some volume right there, and then we have volume right here. So if we sort of split it up, I went long right here, thinking it was going to get to the other end up here. However, I went long right before another level, a decent level. So yesterday price sold off and came back up, and for the rest of the day it could not get above this level. So that's what I was trying to break through, is 241.60, and so that was a mistake there. Probably should have shorted it unless it got above this and then longed it. And so had I shorted it, it would have came down to here, partialed some, it would have bounced, then it would have came under, and then I might have even shorted it again. But yeah, it kind of messed me up. So this really was a really nice range resistance trade. I mean, there's a couple different ranges in here. There's these bigger ones, and then you got yesterday's range. So this is more like a second day play, just because yesterday it had a lot of volume in a small space. So it really did sort of consolidate and compress here. And so I think today's wick down and then back up made it look like it was going back up, but it definitely failed here and then sold off. So it's a range resistance combined with a pretty decent level day before, which makes it sort of a second day play with that. And that's about it.